Hello students and welcome to the e-learning program organized by Shri Gyanmanjari Vidyapeeth for the students of Standard 10, in which we are learning the subject of social science. Students, this is the fourth lecture for chapter number 19, which happens to be the first chapter in the civics part of the textbook. Name of the chapter is Human Development. As this is the fourth lecture, let us have a very quick recap of what we have learned in the previous lectures for this chapter. We have seen the definition for human development, which means the process of enlarging people's freedoms and opportunities and also improving their well-being, and that's called human development according to UNDP, that is United Nations Development Program. Human development, it's a process of extending human aspirations and the essential subsistence services that is to be given to them. Then it also involves lots of other things. Objective of human development is to create same conditions for everybody's life so that people can lead a very significant and creative life according to their own talent, skill, intelligence, capabilities, etc. We also learned that the four pillars of human development are equality, stability, production, and empowerment. Older concept of human development is nations of the world, they believe that human development can be evaluated only on one criteria, that is economic growth. So higher the economic growth, that means higher the national income, then divided by population we get PCI. So higher the economic growth, higher the national income, and higher the PCI, that means that country is more developed compared to other countries in the world as far as human development is concerned. So all the countries of the world basically focused on only and only one thing, that means to improve their economic progress and growth so that they can show a higher human development. So afterwards it was seen that just by achieving higher economic growth, the lifestyle and quality of the life of the people, that did not change. So what is that high income use of when people are not able to change the lifestyle, or they are not able to change the quality of their life? So it was then incorrect to believe that higher your economic growth, then higher your human development. So they came to a conclusion that human development is not only related to income, but then it also means how to use your income in a more better way so that improvement of life is possible. So now human development means ability of human beings to lead successful and creative life as per their interest, abilities, capabilities, and wisdom. So we have to do something, all the countries have to do something which leads to creation of human capabilities, securing equality, getting an opportunities to people so that they can select among lots of various fields available to them. Then we learned about the developing countries are not able to achieve that set target of economic and social growth. Basically, they lack in certain conditions, that is, they show indifference or disgust, that means not liking any sort of improvement. Then low aspirations, low dreams, illiteracy, a lack of entrepreneurship, suspicion, superstition, orthodox traditions. Because of illiteracy, all these things continue happening. Then there is an improper use of natural resources, jiske haath mein uske muh mein. Developing countries are not able to achieve economic and social development. Now we come to the HDI. What is Human Development Index? Human Development Index is a composite whole, that is statistic of 3 economic indicators. Then all the countries are measured in terms of HDI. The data collected from the countries are then put in, and then ranking of the countries is done into 4 tiers, that is 4 layers of human development at world level, and that HDI is then later used to prepare a human development report, that is HDR, that we have seen. Now up till 2009, the first human development report was published in 1990, and from there till 2009, Human Development Index was formed on the basis of 3 indicators. First is life expectancy, that is health. Second is knowledge, that is whatever information is collected. Living standards, that is per capita income, that depends on per capita income. So these were the 3 indicators from 1990 onwards to 2009. These 3 indicators were used. From 2010, a new technique was developed to prepare the HDI and so HDR. The new topic, the new indicators now, they are the same indicators, but now those indicators have become indexed. So lots of other indicators can be kept under them to come to an index. So life expectancy index, that is LEI, average age, education index, that is EI, and income index, that is II, that is lifestyle. Now life expectancy means health and longevity at the time of birth and predicting how many years the child or infant is going to survive. It is measured in years. The lowest and highest we learned, lowest is 20 years and highest is 83.6 years. As per the HDR 2015 report, India stands at 68 years. EI, that is education index, it has 2 indicators. First is mean MYS, that is mean years of schooling or average years of schooling, and the second one is expected years of schooling, EYS. Now what is MYS? The years spent in school by an adult till the age of 25, that is called MYS, and for that lowest number of years of education is considered as 0, highest is 13.3. India is at 5.4 years. Expected years of schooling, EYS, that means it represents approximate years that a child will spend in school. So approximate years a child of 5 years will spend in school. So for that, again, lowest is 0, highest is 18 years. India stands at 11.7 in terms of EYS. Then income index, according to the new technique, instead of, that is gross domestic product, GDP per capita is replaced by GNI. Earlier we used to take GDP. Now we are going to take GNI. From 2010 till date we are using GNI instead of GDP. So GNI per capita. According to HDR 15, GNI was standing at 5,497, whereas GDP per capita was at 5,238, and that also dollars. Now whatever, the per capita income of any nation is calculated in terms of dollars, and that is known as purchasing power parity or PPP. That means what you earn, that much you can spend. That is called your purchasing power parity. Then in the previous lecture we learned that HDI is calculated, whatever indicators we calculate, and then we come to an index that is calculated between 0 to 1 only, right? So you can have 0 some places, for example EYS 0 हो सकता है, MYS 0 हो सकता है, but then earnings cannot be 0, right? Same way other indicators, many of them cannot be 0. So 0 is unachievable, same way 1 is also unachievable. That will be a perfect ideal place, and there's nothing like that, right? So it can range from 0 to 1. It cannot be 0, it cannot be 1, but it will range somewhere in the middle. Values of HDI are calculated on the basis of these indicators, that is life expectancy index, LEI, EI, and II. Now very important, And to be remembered, the country whose HDI data is closer towards 1, that is considered more developed, and the HDI data goes towards away from 1 towards 0, then that is called less developed. So the country whose HDI value is away from 1 is considered as less developed, and it has a lower ranking in the HDI. So lower the HDI, less developed the country; higher the HDI, more developed the nation. Since 1990, every year it publishes HDR. At the time 2015, we had 188 countries whose data we have, and in the world ranking we have 188 countries. Every year it keeps on changing, but we will stick to the figures given by the book. So on the basis of HDI, the countries are divided into 4 tiers that we looked. In that, Norway stands at number 1 with 0.944 points, and India in that same list ranks at 130th, 130, with 0.609 points. Besides, on these values, Norway falls in the first tier, whereas we fall in the third tier. Now, continuously saying since the chapter started that we are not in a race. Yes, we are not here to keep on improving our HDI just because we want to rank higher. Yes, we should be satisfied that we are able to improve the human life standards, living standards in our country. People are more satisfied, content, and peacefully, happily living in the country. Yes. So, values of HDI help in comparing the development of various countries. Countries take reference about their position of HDR and try to increase their HDI values accordingly, so that it can be developed. If we can see, we saw the report. These few points are to be important, to be kept in mind. Tiers are for 1, 2, 3 and 4. Name of the tiers: highest human development, high human development, medium human development and low human development. Division: 1 to 49 countries fall in the first tier, 50 to 105 countries fall in the second tier, 106 to 143 falls in the third tier, and the rest of them in the fourth tier. Now, human development above 0.802, all the countries that have HDI 0.802, they fall in the first tier, that is Norway, Australia, Switzerland, Denmark. They are the few countries that fall in that tier. Second, 0.700 to 0.798, Russia, Malaysia, all of these countries, they fall in the second tier. These tables are given in your material, so not to worry. 0.555 to 698, Indonesia, Philippines, India, Iraq, Africa, all these countries, they fall in that. Below 0.550, they are the countries who fall in the low human development. For example, Kenya, Pakistan, Nigeria, Niger. These are the countries that fall in the lowest tier of the class. Human Development Index, we see that India has been constantly improving. It was 0.428 in 1990. We shot up to 496 in the year 2000, just in 10 years. Then we had quite a huge gap up, and 0.586 in the year 2010 and 0.604 in 2014, and we were at 0.609 in 2015 HDR report. So we can say that India is constantly improving in terms of human development. Then countries which are neighboring countries, which are just a position of India in terms of its neighboring countries. This table we had seen. Countries which are ahead of India in terms of HDI, neighboring countries, they are Sri Lanka, China and Maldives. Ranking is 73, 90 and 104. We are 130. Countries ahead of India is ahead of which countries in the Human Development Index HDI? We are ahead of Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, Myanmar and Afghanistan. Top 5 countries, what is their status and what is our status is, they are well away, quite far away. We are some 300 points back. Life expectancy, they are 81, 80, we are at 68. Expected years of schooling, somewhere 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, we are just 11.7. MYS, mean years of schooling, they have 12, 13, we have 5.4, not even half. So we have to develop that. So these tables, they help us, HDR helps us in understanding where we are and which are the areas we need a lots of improvement so that we can improve our HDI. Yes, we can see in terms of earning, that is gross national income per capita, PPP 2011, in terms of dollars, and then 2014, that is PPP is considered 4 years back, right? That value is taken, but then a report is produced 3 years later, that is 2014. There are some 60,000, 40,000, 56,000, 44,000. We are very, very far behind. We are just $5,497, right? So we need lots of improvement. Then what work do we need to do? India needs to improve upon all its parameters of HDI, namely health, education, and income per capita and national income. If we improve upon these parameters, certainly we can see a lot of development in the terms of HDI. Unlike material resources which can be developed very quickly and within a short time, human development cannot happen that fast. Moreover, government needs to put a lot of effort and motivate people to take up education, take care of their health. Moreover, government also needs to create huge infrastructure facilities so that people can enjoy it. Several schemes for human welfare has to be introduced. They have been introduced for the betterment of the people. Now we have to focus on these three aspects. One is health, another is sex ratio, and the third is women empowerment, which we are going to take one by one. So first we come to health. India's efforts towards a healthy nation. What was the situation? What is the situation? What are the future prospects? So India makes constant effort to control and monitor its population growth. Now, population growth has to be monitored. It has to be continuously kept a watch on, and we have to control it. For that, awareness has to be spread. For example, Nanu Kutum Sukhi Kutum. This is a slogan given by the Department of Control for Population, right? So a small family is a happy family. So people are made aware that instead of having a very large family, lots of sons and daughters, lots of children, it's better to have another slogan is Hum Do Hamare Do. So in that way people are made aware to have a very small family so that population can be controlled. Common diseases, we need to improve upon these areas. For example, common diseases that takes away the lives of lots of children, lots of adults. Because of common disease, we do not have proper treatment facilities, or nearby hospitals are not there, enough number of doctors are not there, awareness for these diseases is not there. Malnutrition, because people, lot of population of India is poor, so they have lots of poverty and they do not have enough money to buy nutritious food for themselves. So women especially, they at the time of pregnancy they do not get enough nutrients, and so that passes on to the child, and when the child borns he is usually weak, cannot survive for a long time, and even if survives, then he has lots of diseases within passed on from the mother. And malnutrition, when the child is growing, he is facing malnutrition because he does not get nutritious food, because they are poor, they are fighting for survival. Yes, they do not have enough money, so children, they get less food and they stay undernourished. That's called malnutrition. Handicapped children, handicapped people, they, in one way, they make or they pose quite a difficulty for themselves also. They are physically challenged, mentally challenged children, adults. Contagious diseases, which pass through lots of mediums like airborne diseases, waterborne disease, or contagious with the help of touching. So they spread and they create a havoc and they kill lots of people, like AIDS, mental disorder, and matter related to it. So we have to, the government continuously tries to control and keep a strict watch on these things. India has made considerable improvement in the child health and child death rate by running child vaccination program on a continuous basis. Yes, do bund. The advertisement where the government had made Amitabh Bachchan the brand ambassador for campaigning for polio disease vaccination, for that do bund, right, is going to save the life vaccination. So it got lots of popularity, lots of people became aware of it, and they gave that polio vaccines to their children. Yes, and in this way we were able to eradicate polio disease from our country, and it's a truth. So government efforts, they cannot be ignored. They work very hard in removing these type of diseases so that people's life can be more healthier. Lots of other vaccinations are continuously going on by the government. To see that the children remain healthy, India provides vaccination of OPV, that is for polio. These are quite important points, right? So OPV for polio, BCG, that is for tuberculosis, which is TB, lungs get affected, breathing gets affected, lung disease hota hai, and other vaccines for DPT, that is diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus, gives vaccines for that, so that the body generates immunity for that, and thus the lives, majorly all these vaccines, they are given to young children right from birth, 0 to 5 usually diya jata hai, till the child becomes of 5 years age. Most of these vaccines are given to them, and after 5 years booster doses are given to them, so that the body is already acquainted with these type of viruses, dead viruses, which are injected or which are orally given. For example, polio ka hai wo oral hai, right? Drops are given on the in the mouth, right? So orally given, some of them has to be injected, so the body becomes aware of these dead viruses, and when live viruses enter the body, then the body easily identifies it and already has antigens to fight against it. So vaccines are given. All the names have to be remembered, and they're quite important when you write the answers. Measles, MMR, hepatitis B, typhoid. Oh, lots of diseases are looked after by the government by producing vaccines for them. Medicines are available free of cost in the PHC, that is public health care, etc. India has also started campaigns against deficiency of iodine, vitamin, and iron. Deficiency of these minerals, they cause lots of diseases that you must have learned in science in standard 8, 9, and of course 10th also, right? So deficiency of these things can be removed by starting campaign against and providing people with this minerals, so that the body has sufficient quantity of it, and so diseases which are caused by deficiency of iodine, vitamin, and iron can be removed. Diseases like plague, smallpox, leprosy no more exist. That means they are eradicated. Both the words are true, does not exist or eradicated. Plague is eradicated from India, same way smallpox is eradicated with the help of vaccine. Leprosy, proper treatment is given, and now leprosy is also eradicated from India. No more exists in India. India has been quite successful in controlling diseases like measles, chickenpox, malaria, dengue, hepatitis, leprosy, tuberculosis, diabetes, cancer, heart diseases, etc. We have been able to, we can't stop these things, right? If somebody tells you we have been able to stop heart attack, then no, that's a heart disease, cannot be stopped, but we have been able to control it. So that is the word used over here. We have been quite successful in controlling. For example, when over here tuberculosis is given, hepatitis is given, leprosy, dengue, yes, time to time government gives out advertisements for, I think malaria, dengue, measles, etc., right? So that how to take precaution. For example, आसपास में कहीं stagnant water नहीं होना चाहिए. That is a very good advice issued by government for terms of malaria and dengue, that these are caused by mosquitoes, and if there is no stagnant water nearby, water is clean wherever we collect water, or it gets collected. So on top of that kerosene etc का mixture का spray किया जाता है government की तरफ से, ताकि eggs of mosquitoes, they do not it hatched over there and spread malaria and dengue. So in this way we have been able to have quite a lot of control over these diseases. Due to all these and many more efforts, today we are able to live a long and healthy life. Yes, we have been able to, because not only precautions and care has been taken to stop or control these things. On top of that, most of the hospitals, clinics, medical stores, they are equipped with lots of medicines readily available, so that people can timely start the treatment and stop the disease from spreading and affecting their lives. And in that way life is saved, and if life is saved, human development is there. India's mortality rate has declined and birth rate is getting controlled. A thoda complicated sentence hai, please understand it properly. India's mortality rate has declined. What is mortality rate? That means child का जब birth होता है, तो earlier because hospitals were not available and the remote areas, they did not have access to those far hospitals. So what happened is, if immediate medical services are to be provided to either the mother or the newborn, then those facilities were not there. Yes, आजकल तो 108 बुलाने से तुरंत pregnant lady को hospital ले जाते पहुंचाते. Timely treatment is given so that mother and the child both survive and they live long. Earlier days that was not there. So what happened? Children died just after the birth, or they were stillborn, or they did not survive for more than 1 year. Within a year the newborn died. 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, they died, right? So that mortality rate was high earlier. Now because of these added or newly equipped medicinal facilities, number of doctors increased, nurses increased. Yes, because of all this, mortality rate has declined. That means more number of children are able to live more than 1 year, and birth rate is getting controlled. People are now becoming aware that having number of children is going to cause lots of problem, because the parents have to feed them, they have to take care of them in each and every way possible. That whether these nowadays 5 things, yes, food, clothing, shelter, health and education, and they are not able to give justice to all the children. So now people are aware and they have small families, so we have been able to control the birth rate. Moreover, life expectancy rate has increased. We just discussed it. Yes, advanced research and medicinal facilities have been available in India now, in most of the corners of India, in all over the country. Yes, lots of hospitals have been built, government hospitals are being added every year, number of ambulances, or each and every, at not only at state level, coming down to district level, then following down to taluka level and panchayat level, public health care centers have been established. Yes, so doctors visit them and free medicine or low cost medicine is available to them. So people, even if they have a little bit of health problem, they can easily approach these centers and get treatment very rapidly. So we have been able to have life expectancy. Now life extends. Earlier when we got freedom, we average age that an Indian lived was 55 years. Today we saw in the previous chapter, in the previous lectures also, now it has come up to 68 years. From 55 to 68 years, that is almost a jump of 13 years, right? So how are we able to do this? We are able to do this with all the medicinal facilities that are on the rise, so that we get effective treatment in a very short time, and thus we are able to save life. Challenges before India in handling health of the people. एक तो already population इतना ज़्यादा है that the government, even if it tries its level best, it is still far less than what is to be expected. Although India has made several efforts for improving the health of the people, there are several negative sides too. In India, waterborne disease and malnutrition have increased. Now, population is continuously on the rise. People do not have enough residences. So what happens? Slum area में या congested area में रहना पड़ता है, जहाँ पे open gutters होता है, कोई hygiene sanitation वगैरह that's not properly taken care of. So waterborne disease से हर साल अभी भी लाखों लोग मर जाते हैं. So we still have to do a lot of work on that. Malnutrition, because lots of people remain poor, they are not able to give nutritious food to their children. So malnutrition is a major problem in front of India. Till date, many Indian women and children belonging to the poor class, they do not get nutritious food, that we already discussed. They suffer from lack of nutrients. If they are poor, they will not get nutritional food, and that is why they have lack of nutrition, which is a base for lots of diseases. Basic minerals, many vitamins and proteins, because they do not get nutritious food. So that is why, yes, they lack in basic minerals, vitamins and proteins. Yes, as a result, the body cannot develop properly and fully, and they keep on suffering from various health problems. With rise in development and population, problems of environment, pollution and poisonous gases have become a common problem. It's not only about the waterborne diseases caused due to the slum areas, etc., but because population is constantly on a rise, everything is in everyday demand, keeps on rising and rising, and to satisfy that, number of industries come up and they keep on polluting the air, water and soil. So environmental pollution keeps on rising, and that goes into our body when we eat food or drink water. And poisonous gases, they keep on leaking from pipelines or from industries, and they spread in the air, and they are inhaled by people and they fall sick and perhaps die also, right? So in that way, that also keeps on. That's a major problem faced by the government also. Our administrators are not able to handle the increasing urbanization and crowded habitats. Yes, population is increasing in such a fast pace that whatever the government does for urbanization, it is still far less than expected. And the habitats wherever we are living, they get more and more crowded. So providing suitable and sufficient health facilities for all remains always a standing issue. If ever we visit to the government hospitals, you'll see that's completely crowded. No beds are available. People are admitted in those hospitals. They don't have a bed inside. They have to get admitted and lie down in the lobby available, right? So in that way, it's so crowded, and because of the overpopulation, yes, and we cannot do much about it. Healthy people lead to a healthy nation. That's a very good thing. Health of a person is the most important and invaluable asset for the person himself and to the country. Each and every human being in the country, each and every citizen of the country is the asset of the country. that person is helpful in building up the nation strong, right? But health makes the person strong. So health is the primary issue, and that invaluable asset in the name of citizen. If he is healthy, then of course the whole of the nation will be happy. If the people of the nation are healthy, they can lead a happier life and a motivated life. They can do lots of hard work and they can earn, and that is how the country also becomes rich. But if the people with poor health fall sick quite often, then they cannot go to work, and thus production effect hota hai, productivity effect hoti hai, and that is how they also don't get money for the days they do not go to the work, and they don't earn money, and they face poverty. So this decreases the productivity of the nation and hence the economy. Healthy people on the other side can go to work regularly by remaining motivated and with higher efficiency. And we have seen that the whole of your class, most of them remain present each and every day, expecting one or two to fall sick or due to some other reasons are not able to come to school. But we have seen that majority, 98 to 99% of the class is always present, which shows that health is taken care of by the parents, by the children themselves, and thus in future you'll be healthier citizens of the country. You'll work hard, you will also earn, and that is how the nation is also going to earn. So healthy people can make economy of the nation healthier. Now we come to the second important point, and this is quite important, and that is sex ratio. Sex ratio means the population is always divided into two. It will be male and female. Now what is the proportion of the male to the female, or what is the proportion of female to the male? Usually that is counted in terms of 1,000. In this population, if there are 1,000 males, then how many females are there per 1,000 males, right? So in what ways are women discriminated in India? Reasons for less or no contribution by Indian women in the economy, both of them are questions, right? Now let us deal with this issue. Now हमेशा equal proportion होता है. If there are 1,000 males, then there should be 1,000 females, right? 50% male ka population, 50% women ka population. Whether you consider adult, child or old, whatever, it should always be in this manner, plus minus 5 to 10, 20, ऊपर नीचे चलता रहता है, right? So because birth and death, that will cause the fluctuation in the proportion, right? So it should be 1:1. कभी कभी ऊपर नीचे थोड़ा सा चलता है. But contribution of male in the economy of the country, especially in India, please listen to me again, contribution of male in the economy of India is proportionately more than the female. That is the basic question we are dealing over here right now. Some reasons are given why is that so. Why is that so? Biologically, females are weaker than males. It has been proved biologically, because women, they have some added responsibility of bearing a child, looking after the child, thus looking after the family, feeding the family, taking the responsibility of the house, etc. So biologically females are weaker than male. Also our society is male dominated. Male goes to work, women remains at house. That is going on since centuries, right? So our society looks males and females with a different social and cultural approach. We'll come to it later, but right now we are just trying to understand what is the basic problem. हमारी इकोनॉमी पीछे क्यों है? हमारी इकोनॉमी पीछे इसलिए है क्योंकि society looks males and females with a different social and cultural approach. How? The society has different expectation from males and females, hence males and females, they develop differently in Indian society. Let's take your example. Yes, boys of your age, they keep on roaming outside, yes, with their friends, anywhere where they go, they take care of vehicles or cycles, they just go out. On the other side, girls still have to take permission from their parents. Somebody has to go along with them. A stipulated time frame is kept for them कि 5 बजे 6 बजे से पहले घर में, right? 6 बजे के बाद घर में से बाहर जाना है. Somebody will come with them, right? So, are the boys and girls in our society not being brought up differently, right? So, understand the sentence. Males and females are developed differently in Indian society, whereas that is not the situation, although in all the rest of the countries. Even today, many women are engaged just in household chores. Now, if we see the Indian setup, male goes to work, female remains at home. She is the housewife. Many of the mothers, most of them, they are housewife. They remain in the house, they look after the house, they look after the home, they care for the home, they take care of the children, help them with their education, they look after the old people in the family, take care of them, proper time, medicine, food, whatever. Males, they go out and earn money. Two separate societal look for both of them. So, women are mostly engaged in household chores, cooking, bringing up children. They do not have any contribution in economic earning of the family or the country. ऐसी बात नहीं है. There are lots and lots of females of the house, those who go out and work. Yes, they are teachers, they are doctors, they are in the banks, they are available in nowadays in lots and lots of various types of fields. Female are available, but the proportion is far less than the male, right? So population में अगर 50-50 का partnership है, तो earning में भी अगर 50-50 का partnership होता, तो इंडिया कहाँ होता? Yes. So we understand that because the society looks differently at males and females, that is why they are brought up differently, and that is why there is very less contribution of women in the economy of the country, especially India. These women, they do not have any power to take decisions in the family. Male dominated nation hai, male dominated society hai. So what happens is, male is the head of the family. We do not have any problem with that, but decision making, females are not allowed in small family. Yes, suppose it's you, your brother or sister, and your parents. It's a very small family. Do wo, do tum, right? So in that case, everybody has a say. Everybody has a say कि वैकेशन में बॉम्बे जाना है, दूसरे को बेंगलोर जाना है, तीसरे को दिल्ली जाना है, चौथे को चेन्नई जाना है, सब मिलके एक जगह चॉइस करते और जा रहे. Then everybody has a say. Yes, but in many of the decisions, father takes the decision and rest of the family okays it, right? So that is what is a problem. Women, they do not have much say in the decisions in the family. Women suffer from inadequate health care, and they are deprived from economic and educational rights. Your parents, both of them, they are educated because we live in urban areas, but 80% of India lives in the rural area. In rural area, women are not given that much encouragement to have more education. So what happens? They are deprived from having education and economical rights. Money is in the hands of the males. Money is usually not in the hands of the female. Economic decisions, economic dealings, everything is done by the males. Females don't have much to say in that. It's the basic reason. So, healthcare maybe, I say here, if a male person of the family falls sick, immediate medical attention is given. But women, they usually hide also, and plus the rest of the family members, they ignore the health issue of the females, and that is how they are deprived from economical and educational rights. They experience discrimination in their clothes, games, opportunities of education, food, moving out with friends, ethics, behavior. Yes, it applies everywhere, whether it is urban, whether it is rural, or all over India, because of the certain customs, traditions that we people, according to our culture, we follow. So, lots of encouragement is given to the boys, but discrimination is done with the girls in terms of how to wear clothes, which type of clothes to wear, which type of games to play, which types of games not to be played by the girls, right? Opportunities of education, yes, brother or sister, so brother gets more opportunities to go outside Gujarat, or say even go outside India and have education. Girls, तुमको कहाँ जाना है, शादी करना है, right? So opportunities of education पे cut हो जाती है. Food, I don't think that happens, but many places in the rural areas discrimination is done because the male child is expected to grow up and earn for the family, so should be very strong, whereas the same issue is moving out with friends, ethics and behavior, boys के लिए कुछ और, girls के लिए कुछ और. So this type of discrimination is done right from the childhood, so it keeps on going bigger and bigger, right? Due to low literacy, they also become victim of child marriage. And this was done in the earlier times. Even today, at many places in India, child marriage happens, but now quite controlled. Yes, government has laws against it, but happens still. But because literacy is almost not given or not encouraged to given more education, so because of that, child marriages, all these are the vices of the society, and they become victim of these bad habits. Parda system, gunta, dowry system, dahej, and many other social evils. Women especially become victim to these because of lower literacy level. Such women also become victim of child infanticide. Sorry to say, but in Indian society, according to culture, tradition, all of those are wrong, customs, etc. Baby boy is preferred more than baby girl. So if the woman gives birth to baby girl, then that is not considered good. So they try to find it before the birth, the sex of the child. If the child is thought of will be a baby girl, then the woman is forced to have a miscarriage or abortion so that she doesn't give birth to a baby girl. Yes, even when we think about it, it's quite wrong, right? But child infanticide पहले के ज़माने में ये काफ़ी था, आजकल कम हो गया in many of the families, and I should really appreciate that. We all should appreciate that one child rule is there, whether that is a boy, whether that's a girl, right? So that's the sea change that's happening in the Indian society. It's a very good thing. Low respect for women, forced for pregnancy, giving birth to male child. We'll discuss this, so we are not going to discuss it again, but women are forced to have pregnancy, but for baby boy only, so male child. Social traditions, woman who gives birth to baby boy, she's appreciated everywhere. Yes, whole of the family becomes proud of her. And if by chance birth given to baby girl, then not given respect. And sexual discrimination always happens. She is a boy, she is a girl. Child is a boy, child is a girl. So social discrimination तो होता ही है, साथ में gender discrimination भी होता है, sexual discrimination. They also experience inequality in economical, political, social, cultural, religious fields. Constitution में, विधानसभा में इतने percentage women होने चाहिए, right? But candidate भी तो आने चाहिए उतने, right? Then only we are ready to send. But then those candidates should come up and say elect women and send them to Vidhan Sabha or Rajya Sabha, right? So everywhere social inequality is found, whether it is economical, political, social, cultural, religious fields. Generally all the states in India have male dominance at high posts, right? कोई भी high post हो, we'll usually see a man sitting over there, right? Women are there, but quite a few. Owing to all these reasons, Indian women, they do not participate in the economic development and develop and get some opportunities, same opportunities as men. Students, we'll stop over here for today. Thanks, students.